one-sided loss the other night. How dangerous does that team become when you face them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously any team doesn't like getting, embarrassed in this league, especially with, how we hold ourselves accountable. So, obviously we know that this team's going to be coming out very fiery, not happy with their last results. So we just got to make sure we come out, match that same mindset, same energy, and, do what we do.
How about yourselves, Mitch? You put aside a game the other night that could have gone either way, as Sheldon said after, and some fluky goals against. Was that, 48 hours ago now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a game of hockey also. Bounces happen, fortunate things happen. We did a good job staying with that game. Like we just said, it could have gone either way. A couple of little mistakes that ended up in the back of our net, and we can learn from that, make sure we build, and just be better for tonight.
How happy are you with the consistency the last, 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, it's been great, especially with stuff we've been dealing with injury-wise, sickness-wise, just guys coming up and down. And the thing we always talk about is when people get called up to our team or called into play, they don't shy away from that moment. They just embrace it, and they've done a great job with that. So that's what you want from your guys, and it's been great to see that, and it's been great to see everyone just buy into what we're doing here, and we've been getting rewarded for it.
You talk about Buffalo coming off that bad game the other night. They've beaten you guys, but they've beaten Boston, the Rangers, Vegas. I mean, how difficult is it to prepare for a team that is so wild up and down like that?
Well, I mean, if you look at their lineup, they don't got any lack of skill over there. I mean, they got a lot of guys that can make you pay for your mistakes offensively. Doesn't matter if it's on their forward lines or their D lines. A lot of guys that can jump in plays and make stuff happen. So you just got to be aware at all situations. You got to make sure you're defending well when you have to, and at the same time, they're very good in transition, very good on the rush, and with odd man rushes against. So we just got to make sure we do a good job in that aspect, and try to make it hard on them around our net.
What's it like to play here knowing that there might probably be a good number of Maple Leafs fans here? What's always that like?
I mean, it's great, to be honest. It's obviously a lot cheaper probably of a ticket and drive than what it is at Scotiabank, to be fairly honest. So, you hear the loudness of our fans and the love you get from them here. And, we got a lot of fans around this area. That's obviously not a far drive like I just spoke about. So it's always cool to be a part of this. It's cool when the crowds start going at each other and, doing the chants back and forth. So, it's something that's always cool when you come play in this area.
Play a team that's coming off a loss that they obviously want to put behind them.
Yeah, we expect them to play hard, have a good start, so we got to be ready for that.
How interesting, difficult is it to play them with given the number of teams they've beaten and then the struggles they've had? You don't really know, I guess, what kind of team to expect.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting a team with tons of skill, tons of speed, likes to play off the rush, and they have a good team over there. So we're not expecting anything other than that. So we're going to prepare. We're going to be ready to go. Like Sean mentioned, they are probably going to have a good start. So we got to be ready.
You were asked at the beginning of the season about how you personally could take your playoffs and because you were so good then, and apply it to this season. Do you feel like you've done that?
I don't know about that. Playoffs is different. I think I'm just trying to focus on what I can do to help the team. What areas of my game I can continue to improve to help the team, and that's always going to be a work in progress.
Nice to see, or whatever it be, Morgan, to see Mark taking part in the Fuller workout with you guys.
Yeah. It's always nice having him around. On the road, in the room. He's a great presence. So to have him back, with the guys is great for him, I think, but also great for us.
What's it like to come in here and what could be like a home-like atmosphere tonight?
Yeah, it's always interesting playing here. We always get a good turnout of Leafs fans. But to be honest, as a group, we're just going to focus on our game and what we need to do to have a good start. We'll take it from there. We always have good support on the road. That's one of the great parts about playing here.
When a goaltender like Rielly, has had some ups and had downs, how much is that in your heads? In terms of defending him, trying to give him an easy first period, maybe.
That's not really what we've been talking about. Again, we're just going to focus on the team game and having a good start. And I mean, the expectation around here is that every individual is going to do what they need to do to prepare, and then from there, it's all about the team. So, the expectation is that we're all going to be ready. We're all going to be prepared to play, and we're not really changing any type of game plan or any type of structure based on one player's streak or lack thereof or anything like that. So we're just going to go out there and play and trust that everybody's ready to go.
How do you feel about the team's game based on its evolution through 30 games or whatever it's been?
Yeah, I think of late it's been better. We were obviously went through a stretch where we were going to overtime a lot, and we talked about trying to win more convincingly and play better, and I think that we've done that. And even with the game that we played most recently, we don't win, but there were decent things happening there for us. So I think there's been some growth and there's been some areas that we've improved on. So we'll look to continue that.
Sheldon, the decision that it appears to go with Elliott tonight, just kind of a bit about the mindset there. About going,
I'm sorry, I can't.
sorry, about going with Elliott tonight in goal, just the decision that went into that.
Well, he's got to play. We got to get him. We got to get him going here. So that's really it.
What stands out about the Sabres? I mean, obviously they're a pretty talented team, but kind of going through a bit of a rough patch here.
Yeah, well, a very talented team. Lots of game breakers on forward. Lots of skill. Obviously, size too. A lot of their best people are some of the biggest guys in the league, both on forward and D. So. Lots to handle and manage there. They got 2 first overall picks on defense that, is usually one or the other is on the ice virtually at all times. So, there's significant challenges there. We seem to get their best when we play these guys. They've already taken 2 points from us this season here, so, we're expecting a tough game.
How encouraging was it to see Gio out there, and do you have an updated timeline on his return?
Yeah, it is encouraging. Great to see him out. He's been progressing very well. He won't play here before Christmas, and the timeline points more towards him being day to day as we return from the Christmas break.
Sheldon, I know coaches, the answer is usually you always want more, but how happy are you at this point in the season with your depth players, your bottom 6 forwards, that sort of thing?
I think we've been getting lots from those guys, both on the production side and I think the confidence in those groups has increased over time to be able to play them at different times against other teams' better players. We've been kind of forced into those situations a lot more recently, quite honestly. I mean, we just finished playing New York twice in a span of a week, and with the Rangers there, and they play they play their bottom 6 guys against our top guys as much as they possibly can. So whenever you play an opponent that does such a thing, you're forced into either disrupting the rhythm of your best people, or you go with some of those matchups, and you then have to trust some of your bottom 6 guys to play against some of the opposition's best people. And I felt more confident doing that here of late. We've seen, when Nyes is out, Gregor is able to go up and elevate, and I think for the most part we've been happy with what we've got from those guys.
Has Gregor been a bit of a revelation, Sheldon, given how he had to earn a spot here in camp and went through the summer with not knowing what his future was?
Yeah, a little bit. Certainly, coming in and not knowing a great deal about him, other than to say that there was great confidence in the management team in signing him and bringing him in, that he could fit in well for us. So, to that end, I think, we had expectations that he could be an effective player for us. It's taken time to figure out just how best we can or should use him. He's taken a bigger role in the penalty kill, and that's been hugely important for us. And then playing both wings and scoring goals at important times and being a threat with his speed. That's been really good for us.
Through the season, even though you've had injuries on defense or whatever, you kind of kept the Rielly Brody pair consistent. I'm just curious as to what led to the change that kind of changed things up on the top 4.
Yeah, Combination of things, but the biggest one probably is rooted in Liljegren's arrival, coming back, and looking at some different things there, and then through the time that Liljegren was out and Timmins for a good chunk of time. We've played McCabe more on the right side and become more comfortable with that. So I think it gives us the ability to kind of look at some different things. We started the other day, with McCabe on the left with Liljegren and Rielly Brody, and after the first period, just felt we wanted to change it up, and we ended up going with more of what we have here today throughout most of the game the other night. So it had been on our mind. We just thought, maybe giving Liljegren a little bit more time, to get comfortable would be helpful to him. But we don't have a lot of time in the NHL, and we just felt we needed to make that adjustment and want to be able to see this a little bit longer.
One of the benefits of being a Maple Leaf is you get such great road support, but how much do you think that actually impacts the game or can impact the game?
The real answer, quite honestly, I think is there's probably doesn't affect it a whole lot. In terms of your preparation and going into the game, I don't think it's much a factor. I do think once the game gets going, it can be a factor. I think it can, once you get into the game, I think whether it's the response to a goal can help you kind of take momentum, keep momentum. If you need to, you start to build some positive momentum and energy in the game, and the energy in the building rises for the road team. I think that can be a factor. I don't think it's something going into the game as much of anything, but it's more with how we can perform on the ice that can kind of get them going and then have it become a bit of an advantage for us. And if anything else, or if nothing else, maybe something that works against the home team.
You mentioned the challenge of playing the Sabres. How much is it heightened when a team like that is at a crisis flashpoint like they are after the last game, where the fans are saying fire the coach and booing the team? How much does that heighten your awareness just to be prepared for this game?
Well, like I said, every game we've played Buffalo here in my time here, it seems we've gotten their best, and thus it's had our attention coming into the game. I think they've got a lot of great young players, as I said, and they got a lot of great elements to their team, and they play very well against us. So I don't think that changes anything other than to say, and like any time in the NHL, if whatever happens in the games leading up to the one you're preparing for, there's usually you have to expect an adjustment. We just played New York the other night on home ice after giving it to them pretty good in Madison Square Garden. So the expectation was they were going to play a much tighter and better game. I think it's more of the same. That's just sort of the nature of the NHL, which is why you don't often see games like Buffalo had the other night happen with great regularity. It's because the league is too good, and the teams and the players just adjust and are better the next time out.